A very good morning to one and all present here. Today we are going to see about environmental studies. In that first, we are going to see about resources. So next, what does mean by resource? Resource refers to all materials available in our environment which are technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally sustainable, which help us to satisfy our needs and wants. The concept of resource has been developed across many established areas of work, especially in economics, biology, ecology, computer science, management, and human resource. For example, linked the concept of competition, sustainability, conservation in the application with human society. And it also has the factors required for the resource allocation through the resource management. Resource always it will be classified as the actual and potential on the basis of the level of development. So most important thing, resources has to be utilized whenever it is needed, and the benefits of resource utilization may include it include the increased wealth, proper functioning of a system, or an enhanced well-being. So next we are going to see about natural resources. Natural resources, in that we are going to see about what is meant by natural resources and classification of resources, in that in renewable and non-renewable resources and problems associated with the natural resources. First, we are going to see about what is meant by natural resource. So, natural resource is derived from the environment. Many natural resources are essential for the human survival, while others are used for satisfying the human needs. So, what does mean by natural resource? Any material which can be transformed in a way that it becomes more valuable and useful can be termed as a resource. So, in other words, it can be said as it is possible to obtain valuable items from any resources. So, therefore, it means to attain given ends. So, it gives the satisfaction that is most important thing to consider a thing or a substance, a resource. So long it meets our needs. So life on the planet depends upon large number of things and services provided by the nature, which are known as natural resources. That is, water, air, soil, minerals, coal, forest, crops, wildlife are the examples of natural resources. Next, we are going to see about the classification of natural resources. In classification of natural resources, it is depending upon the availability of natural resource can be divided into two categories, that is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, it is an inexhaustible resource. They have the ability to replenish themselves by means of recycling, reproduction, replacement. For example, renewable resources are sunlight, animals, plant, soil, water. It can be reused. But non-renewable resources are once used cannot be taken back. So resources cannot be replenished once used or perished. For non-renewable resources, there are some examples like minerals, fossils, fossil fuels, etc. In non-renewable resources, we have two resources, that is biotic resources and abiotic resources. Biotic resources are for the living resources, that is example, forest, agriculture, fish and wildlife that are able to reproduce or replace them to increase. Abiotic resources are non-living resources like petrol, land, minerals. They are not able to replace themselves, so they are not useful to consider them in the terms of the human lifetimes. So next we are going to see about the problem associated with the natural resources. In that we have three things. First one is unequal consumption of natural resource. Second one, planning land use. Third one, need for sustainable lifestyles. So unequal consumption of natural resource. It is the major part of the natural resource today are consumed in the technologically advanced or developed world. usually the West, termed as West. The developing nations of the East, including India and China, also overuse many resources because of their greater human population. So, however, the consumption of resource of the developed countries is up to 50 times greater than in the most developing countries. So, advanced countries produce over 75% of global industrial waste and greenhouse gases. Second one is planning the land use. Land is the major resource needed for not only for food production, animal husbandry, but also for the industry and growing human settlements. Uh, these forms of intensive land use are frequently extended at the cost of wildlands or our remaining forest, grassland, wetlands, and deserts. It demands for the pragmatic policy that analyzes the land allocation for various uses. And next one we are going to see about the need for sustainable lifestyle. Human standard of living and the health of the ecosystem are the indicators of the sustainable use of resources. Both are not concurrent with each other. It increases the level of one, usually the degradation of the other. We'll always say that one product waste is used for the other product as the raw material. So we have to utilize all the things according to the needs and the lifestyle of the human beings. So development policies should be formulated to balance the between the two. So today we have seen about the natural resources, like what is mean by natural resources, classification of natural resources, and the problems associated with the natural resources. Thank you.